Welcome back to the 22-23 Heart of America Athletic Conference Men's Wrestling Media Days. Cody Goodwin here, now with William Penn, head coach Aaron Scott, and wrestler Steven Skews. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. How's it going today, guys?
Going pretty good. Yeah, going great.
Going great. Big dual win last night. You guys have already competed quite a bit. I know we were talking about this before we hit record. Coach, what do you like so far about what you've seen from your guys?
Probably the first thing is that the improvement that we've already seen from our first duel to where we were last night, and just an improvement from year over year. Our team, we had a solid team last year, and our guys have done a really good job of stepping up. And we have, we're weaker in our lighter weights last year, and this year that's been kind of one of the stronger parts, or more solid. So it's definitely as a coach, you want to kind of eliminate those weaknesses, and I feel like we've done a pretty good job of making a pretty solid lineup from top to bottom there. So I like seeing that, and then just guys going out competing and just getting better every single time they go out.
Yeah, I know a lot of coaches cautiously optimistic before their guys hit the mat, because they kind of want to see what they have first before they're like, okay, now we can go, right?
Right.
You guys have a handful of duels under your belt already, handful of tournaments, got another big tournament coming up this weekend. What have you learned about your guys so far?
Yeah, that they, like you said, as a coach, you kind of see what the potential is, and you can kind of see what they do in the practice room. And you hope that translates out onto the mat when they perform. And that's kind of what we've learned. We've kind of learned that our expectations are kind of in line with how we can perform. And that's been one of the major things. And that these guys are coachable, and they have the desire to go out there and compete and to do the best that they can do. And they're mentally tough. We're still a young team, but a lot of these guys are competing with poise and confidence, and they can, when things get tough, they respond, and they can kind of handle that pressure.
Absolutely. Mentioned a young team, but like what you've been seeing so far, when you have a young team like that, what are some of the bigger picture goals through the rest of this season? Like what are things you want to accomplish when you have a team that's as young, but still there's a lot of promise there from what you've seen so far?
Yeah, so probably the biggest goal is that we want to see that improvement and get that performance, and then that improvement translating into national qualifiers and guys getting ranked into the top 20. I mean, that's kind of that ultimate goal, is that as a team, we've got goals that we want to compete at a high level, but we also want to have a certain performance at the national tournament, and we want to have guys standing on that podium. That's our goal. So we've got to practice and compete in a way that will lead to that ultimate goal that we want at the end of the season. So that just kind of guides everything that we do on a day-to-day basis, is looking at that end goal, and then making decisions that will lead to that and get us there.
Absolutely. Steven, already competed a handful of times already this year. How do you feel about the way you've been wrestling thus far?
At the very beginning of the season, it wasn't my best performances, but after last weekend, I feel a lot better about how I've performed and how I've competed, especially last week at the tournament. It was a big tournament for me. A lot of good things that I've improved on and continue to improve on as well. So it was a good week.
Absolutely. Where do you feel like you've grown the most since you've been, as a college wrestler? I know that there's a lot of adjustments and things that high school wrestlers, when they make that jump, have to work on, in the few years that you've been working. Where do you feel like you've grown the most?
I think one of the things, or one of the places that I've grown the most, is definitely my mentality. Being headstrong, I guess, in a way. Just knowing that I can be mentally tough at all times, regardless of the situation, regardless of what's going on in the match and on the mat. If I can get in my own head and get my head on straight, that I can accomplish whatever is at task.
Absolutely. tactically speaking, like what on the mat when you know, through this past off season to get ready for this season, what do you feel like you've improved the most, or what did you spend the most time working on?
I've definitely spent the most of my time on the bottom position. I was not very good last year at getting out from bottom. Coach can attest to that. But I feel like this year has gotten a lot better at getting out from bottom and getting some escape points.
Absolutely. I know that they in the preseason, I think coach called your weight class the toughest weight class probably on the team. You got a really good you know, teammate there who is also pushing you quite as well. What's it like having Kale in the room with you this year to push you quite a bit?
It's awesome. It's good to have those guys in the room with me, and you know, we push each other every day. We compete every day, which makes it really nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. Asked you about individually as a team wise, what do you like about what you've seen from your teammates and you know, the entire roster so far through the first few competitions this year?
You know, I enjoy their drive. I enjoy the effort that's there. This year, especially, I feel like we're so much closer than we have been in the past few years that I've been here. We've formed that sense of brotherhood and family. And so I think as we continue to encourage each other and help each other out, I think we can do a lot of great things this year.
Absolutely. Last question for you. What do you hope to see, you know, maybe in terms of growth or whatever the case may be over the next, you know, next few months as the season unfolds?
I'm really looking forward to pushing each other in the room, and getting those guys who were so close to qualifying last year to actually qualify for nationals this year. We got quite a few guys that missed the tournament by, you know, 1 match, 2 matches, and I'm looking forward to hopefully pushing those guys to the next step and making us a top contender as well.
Awesome. Guys, I appreciate the time today. I think that was all the questions I had for you, unless there was anything else you guys wanted to add.
No, nope. Thanks, Cody. We really appreciate it. And, you know, we're excited for the opportunity to talk to you, and we're just excited to get out there and compete this year.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys making some time to talk today. Thank you again, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Yeah. Thanks, Cody. Appreciate it.